Hello, everybody. It is another episode of My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Megan, the skeptical one.
And I'm Erin, the believer. Yeah, we're slightly more sober this episode.
Yes, I wanted really badly to have a glass of wine at dinner, and I did not. I was like, no. I will. My apologies for that. Listen, we had a lot going on. Things were a little bit stressful, so I was like, I'm just going to have a couple of glasses at dinner, and then, holy cow, that was a lesson learned. If that was your first time listening, I do read quicker than that. I was listening when we were editing, and I was like, oh my gosh, get it together, girl. But fucking go back in time.
I remember listening to you talk like it was like an out-of-body. I was like, why is she reading so slow?
And I can remember it because I didn't black out until I got home. I don't really remember going to bed. The next morning I was like, how did I get in my bed? And Jim was like, oh, you were loud. I was like, oh, sorry. But, I just remember, don't stumble on all your words. I had so much pressure because I thought, poor Erin is going to have to edit this and it's going to be hard. And I was. She edited a lot, by the way, like a whole lot. So I was struggling. And at one point you said, you were cracking up at me and you're like, this was my favorite night to record. And I was like, this is my least favorite night to record.
I know. I tried so hard to find that little bit for our last blooper, but, I don't know. I couldn't re-listen to it anymore.
No, you can only listen to one's drunk rant so many times before you're like, what is going on with her? So,
oh man, it was
special apologies to Mary. Now that I think back on it, I don't really know what picture I'm talking about, but apparently really made an impression on me. The one that I saw, there's a lot more depth to you than just your thighs. Although I do enjoy them. But, oh my goodness, it all came out. I was like, give me those thighs. I really did mean for myself, but, whatever.
Oh gosh, it was so funny, because then you better keep that part about those thighs.
Oh my gosh, a drunken mess does not happen too often anymore, but when it does, whew.
Yeah, I'm really glad everybody got to hear that.
Yeah, but you are. Well, like I said, maybe it's your turn tonight because you drank at dinner tonight.
I did. I usually drink at dinner, though.
So your tolerance is way higher than mine. Oh, it's because you're a baby. You'll get there when you're like, I gotta slow down because everything hurts when I wake up anyway. I don't need any train wreck on top of it.
Well, after we recorded last week, we still sat around and continued to drink for a while. So by the time we were done,
we really did.
I was pretty drunk too.
Whew, yeah, we sat here for way too long.
We did. Which this is like the last week that's even a possibility because we're going back to in school. You're already there, but
I mean, I'm like sitting in my room doing stuff that nobody else has to be around me doing,
Right, yeah, but we're going back to the building soon, and it's going to be so bizarre after a year of working from home, but I'm excited.
Me too. I am ready, and that'll just be a cause for day drinking on Saturday. Maybe we'll just turn this into a day drinking Saturday podcast. I mean, you'll hear, instead of Ellie, who, by the way, we got to lay down a little bit further away from us.
Yeah, we kicked her off the couch. She's real pissed.
And she's still real loud, so you guys probably will still get to hear her, but at least she's not right between us. But yeah, I've got footage of her being so pissed off at us that we made her lay. She won't even look at it. She's like, got her back turned to us now. She's like, whatever, guys. But, if we do it on a Saturday, you will, instead of hear a snoring dog, you'll hear crazy children. So listen, you get what you get, people. This is the best we can do.
Yeah, we'll still do it tonight. We just won't stay up till 2 a.m. and laugh about it.
Sometimes it is too hard to not stop.
I know, that's true. You'd think we only see each other once a year or something.
I know.
We see each other almost every day. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but we've got good content. When you and I have good content to talk about, we could drag it out for, weeks. Like, let's go back to that and keep on talking about that, so.
We could also just sit and talk about nothing for a long time. There aren't a lot of people I can do that with, but you're one of them.
Oh, well, same. And remember that time we were sitting on your front porch? Now, I have, delivered a couple of babies, but I remember when I peed on your front porch. We were sitting there, and I was not even that drunk, but we were
No, you weren't drunk at all. We had just
we might not have even been drunk. Yeah.
We decided to try to be athletic. Which was our first mistake.
Which is hilarious.
We did it one time.
Yeah, that's right. Remember that one time we tried to go jogging? Me neither, because I blocked it out. It was so horrible. No, we were sitting on your front porch, and you told me some story. I got to laughing so hard. I just like literally full on peed on your front porch in your front
oh my god
chairs, and I just looked at you, I was like, it's happening. There's nothing I can do to stop this. This apparently is what 40 looks like after you've been have had a couple of kids late in life.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So anybody out there who hasn't gone through that yet, that's what you got to look forward to. Don't sit next to Erin. She'll make you laugh hard enough to pee in your pants after a nice jaunt. We didn't jog.
It's so flattering. Oh no,
we weren't really jogging.
It's so flattering that you think I could just make anybody pee their pants.
Girl, you're funny. You make me laugh all the time. I mean, all the time.
Well, thank you very much. Same.
Thank you. So what do we got tonight?
I've got a nice long story.
Okay, I do too.
I'm excited. I also have a little snippet, a little tiny short story that someone told me.
Oh, yes, this was the nurse.
Yes. So, not to get into a lot of details, but one of the reasons we were heavily drinking last week was just some medical stress with someone in our family. So, we had a lot of interaction with nurses, like a lot of them. Yeah. So, when I was sitting in the hospital room for, all day, there was a very chatty nurse. He caught me when I was editing. I was sitting there with, trying to edit the episode, and he said, well, what are you editing? And I said, I've got a podcast where we tell ghost stories. And then I thought, ooh, you're a nurse. I know you've got a ghost story.
Right.
And he's like, okay, I do have one. You just can't say my name or like the hospital. And he didn't even tell me the hospital. I knew his name because he had been the nurse all day.
Right.
But, so he said, you can tell the story, but just, leave out the details. So I'm going to tell the story real quick because it was a shorty. But he said that when he worked in hospice care, they used to, I think they still do. If if the patient has like a dog that they want in the room with them, they'll let the dog come. I know. So,
what happens to the dog after they pass away?
Well, all of his the man's family was all there.
Okay,
and
so
the
they'll
dog.
Take care of the dog.
Yeah,
I'll take all those dogs. I'm gonna have a lot of dogs.
Yeah, I cannot imagine. Those heroes who work hospice care. I cannot imagine.
Seriously.
I don't know what I would do. They're amazing.
I love them. Yeah.
Yes. God bless them because I mean they're so needed, and to have that compassion,
right?
It's
something special.
Puts a tear on you. But anyways, on to the story. This man was in hospice care, and his family was all around him, and so was his dog, who he loved this dog. And the nurse was saying, there's a point when you've done it so much that okay, we've got minutes.
This is gonna. Yeah. Oh my gosh!
Like this is happening. He's trying to make sure everything is right in the room so the family can just focus on this. And right when he's thinking, okay, any second now.
Wow.
The dog, who had been sleeping all day just lounged out, stood straight up on all four legs and looked up in the corner and started barking in the corner wild.
What?
And everybody looked at the dog what are you barking at? Looked up in the corner, couldn't see anything, and then the man flatlined.
Wow. So he watched his spirit leave.
Yeah, it left, and on its way out, the dog was like, hey.
Oh my gosh, don't leave me. Don't leave me.
Well, don't think of it that way. Just bye.
Oh, sorry, you want to go to spooky ass. Oh yeah, bye. He was barking nicely. They had a nice departure. Wow, that's pretty interesting.
I know.
I mean, also, it makes me think of Mom and Dad's dog, that anytime she sees a reflection on anything, she goes buck wild. I mean, she barks at your watch and then the funny part to me is that Mom and Dad yell at us, not the dog. They're like, it's your cell phone, put your cell phone away. I'm like, oh, listen, I should be able to wear a watch at your house. I should be able to look at my cell phone. But oh no, your dog. And she goes crazy if there's a little glimmer. So that's the debunking in me, but boy, I hope I'm wrong, because
I don't even feel like that has to be ghosty. I mean, that's your soul leaving. You believe in souls.
True. Yes, I do believe in souls. Yeah.
So that's your soul leaving your body. There's got to be something spiritual about that, even if it goes straight on to the next realm, whatever.
Right.
So I don't even think you need to debunk that.
Okay, I won't then, but I would like to look at my phone from time to time at Mom and Dad's house. So
no, that's just
I'm keeping that part in there. Yeah,
we love dogs,
but they're
except for.
Sorry, Mom and Dad, if you're listening.
No, they don't listen. I don't think.
Handful. And it's our fault because we told Mom and Dad to get a
doodle, a
golden doodle. We're like, they're so precious. They're so. I mean, we showed them picture after picture after picture on their next hunt for a dog. Nobody warned us They are nuts. If you're thinking about getting a dog,
Don't get a doodle.
If you have a golden doodle and you know the trick, please tell us, because we do not know the trick. This dog is wild. Oh, man, sorry. I won't even say her name because I feel like we bashed her a little bit. Sorry, golden doodle dog that lives with our parents.
Yeah, Mom and Dad called her my sister the other day. I was like, she is not my sister.
No.
I will claim all of our other dogs.
For
like,
sure.
Bo was a sister.
Yeah.
Sandy and Sadie, sure.
Yep. We can name all of
that
them.
Dog is
that dog
is not my sister.
Anyway, she's just yuck. Okay, well that same nurse came in when I was there, and he looked at me. I mean, he clearly must be an at-heart believer, because some believers...
Oh, yeah, he talked to us for a real long time.
Yeah, not me. He looked at me, he's like, oh, you must be the skeptic one. And I was like, I am. And he was like, uh-huh. Anyway, and then just went on, and I was like, I thought you were really talkative. I was ready to talk. He had nothing to do with me.
That's hilarious. He talked for a real long time. I don't want to say too long time because he might listen to this, but he did talk for a long time about existential things. I was like,
oh, that's good. Now see, I'd be into that. I would love, and that's the thing. I think if you're listening, if you've listened to our last little bonus episode, we did a Coffee and Cryptids not too long ago. We had this great guest on there, and he explained it beautifully. Like, it doesn't have to ruin a good ghost story. Being a skeptic doesn't need to ruin and that's, I don't ever want to ruin a good ghost story. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of what the topic is. Everybody, and then the few times I've held back, they're like, what is your debunk? So I feel like people want to hear what I have to say as far as that goes, but I sometimes am, I don't want to say it because I don't want to ruin the great story,
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. He did not care for me, which is funny to me. Some skeptics, some believers, they get like that. Like, fine, if you're not going to believe, I'm not even going to talk to you. And I'm like, no. I won't be offensive. I'm not going to bash you.
Right.
Except for when I'm really drunk. when I've had too much wine, I might say you're making shit up.
Yeah, let's ask Paula how she feels.
Paula, girl, I am so sorry. Listen, I feel like I made it up to you when I was like, you and I should start a podcast, but boy, not you and I, Paula and I.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh man, I really did. Sorry, Paula, about that all. So, I am super excited that Patty got her shit together. And we love Patty.
This is Jack's sister.
Yes, this is Jack's sister. So, I've known Patty as long as I've known Jack. And she's like a treat, every time she shows up at a party. Because she kind of, for a while there, she was living far away. So, she wouldn't come to all of the family functions. Because, again, Jack and I had a very codependent relationship. So, he went to all my family functions. I went to all of his family functions. But,
and the derby parties merged.
And then we started having derby parties together, which we still do annually every year, except for this past year. That was so sad. But anyway, and so when Patty comes, I'm just giddy. I'm like, yay, Patty's here. She just makes everything more fun. So anyway, super excited. She got her shit together and actually and I love it. She didn't even send in an attachment. She just either rewrote it all the way out. It's just in the email. She's like, I'm going to make sure they get this time. But I'm glad she did, because we did get the subject line wrong. It's better than what we...
Oh, good. It wasn't great what we tried to remember. I knew
it
was...
because that's from a book or something.
Yeah,
but... wardrobe and whatever, but no, and it's just a good story. And I was like, Patty, as I'm reading this, she could be a bit of an author, Okay. She's got some good stuff going on here. Okay, so the title of her story is The Witch, the Wolf, and The Unwelcomed.
Ooh.
I know, right?
It kind of reminds me of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what the book was that I was thinking that we originally were saying, but no, even better, because this is for adults.
Oh.
Even though it's a story about her being a kid. But anyway, she writes it to adults. Okay, so The Witch, the Wolf, and the Unwelcomed. This is an event that occurred during the summer I turned 11. I haven't spoken about it much because it was so far from the little girl that I was at the time. I was happy, silly, athletic, surrounded by friends, but still very vulnerable. Understand that I didn't realize I was, but someone else did that summer, and she was not a friend.
Ooh.
Not really known to me either. I attended St. Bernard Catholic School 1st through 8th grade. The friends I speak of were with me. The friends she speaks of later on in the story. Okay. The friends I speak of were with me most of those years. This event took place during my 6th grade year at a conservation camp that approximately 20 plus of us attended for a week. There were girls from other schools there too, so we made new friends. It was my 2nd year attending this camp. I loved, and was good at, archery, swimming, and skeet shooting. It was great. Many of my peers were teammates and sleepover buddies. We made friends with other cabins too, which only seemed positive, until this incident. So, a couple of nights, this is terrifying. This whole little scene is terrifying. Get rid of this. Okay. So, a couple of nights into our week, I woke, shaking and uneasy, to a pitch black cabin. So, you know, like that, you like wake up and you don't know why you're uneasy.
Right.
At first, I didn't hear anything, and I wasn't really alarmed because, well, who doesn't wake up and feel they had a nightmare? Then, I heard a sound of breathing, but that wasn't the problem. It was where the breathing was coming from. It was too close to my cheek. I tried to tell myself that it was my breath, only I could make out 2 distinct breaths from 2 sources, and I was one of them.
Oh, okay.
I didn't or couldn't move at first. Then there was a slight low growl a few inches away from my face. The growl then was on the move fast.
Oh my gosh.
Fast.
Towards her, away from her, because
No,
it was already close to her. Okay.
I laid, shaking in a fetal position. I couldn't tell if an animal had come into the cabin or if someone was playing a trick on me. There was no way that I was getting up to get a flashlight, turn on the light, or wake someone up. No way. So I laid there listening. Whatever this was, I know.
Yes, way. Scream.
I mean, that's what you say, but I mean, that's that freeze.
Oh,
you know,
gosh.
like when you freeze, you're just like, yeah. I mean, I can relate. Like, you're just like, just don't move and maybe it'll go away. Maybe it won't see me. Oh my gosh, how terrifying.
Ooh, I got chills.
Yeah, it gets scarier. Okay.
Oh,
yeah. So I laid there listening. Whatever this was, it had started to run up and down the main walkway between the bunk beds of sleeping Catholic girls. Oh. I could hear something metal and small clanging as it ran, almost like a dog tag. By this time, the unseen devil dog, or rabid Catholic girl, hopped up on Reese's cups, she says, was panting, still letting out low guttural growls every now and then. I was too scared to move, but thought that it could see me in the dark, so I covered my head. Big mistake. As soon as I moved, it was again by my side, breathing. No. I mean, let that sink in for a minute. She's like, I just have to cover my head, and then it's like, right back there.
No. It's like Stranger Things or something, like a Demogorgon.
Oh, yes, right? How come I couldn't tell if it was a dog or a human? Then I remembered why I woke up. I was already having a nightmare about a wolf chasing me. Now this, I was convinced myself I was still dreaming. So she's like, okay, so I am still dreaming. However, my body was not so sure. I knew I was awake. I know I was feeling the breath and the growl. Yet was I really? So she's kind of like, this has still got to be part of the dream. So when the sun came up, she's like laid there until the sun came up. I had been awake and running, and the running had stopped a while ago, along with the growling and the clanging. However, there was something weird happening. One of those crazy Catholic friends was balled up in her sleeping bag on the floor next to my bed. She had a crazy dream that she had been turned into a dog. What? Oh. All capital letters.
Oh my gosh.
Are you kidding me? We had a good laugh at first. So her friend's like, girl, I had this crazy dream. And she's like, it must have been you.
Yeah, okay.
So that's how she pacifies it. But we'll come back to it, okay? Because that's pretty wild.
Right.
I mean, that is a vivid dreamer.
Do not invite her over for a slumber party.
She's no longer a sleepover buddy. She got a big X on her.
Oh,
no more of that. Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
No.
I'd be like, you little bitch. You scared the shit out of me. Oh my gosh, okay.
So I need to have like a disclaimer for whenever my kids are going to like have kids over. I'll be like,
yeah,
does your child have vivid dreams?
Does she get rabies in the middle of the night and become a werewolf?
Gosh. I think I was holding my breath. I'm like,
oh, I know.
That was
terrifying.
Scary.
The whole time I'm reading this, I'm like, I cannot wait to read this to Aaron. This is so crazy. Okay, so now comes the more disturbing portion of my event.
Good, because I was getting bored.
The witch.
Ooh.
After lunch and waiting the suggested 30 minutes, we all went swimming. I normally swim. However, I was so tired from the night before. She set out.
Poor...
No. I sat on the side and watched, spoke to my friends and other girls. A girl from another cabin sat down beside me and introduced herself. I admit that I don't remember her name or where she went to school, but what she said was burned into my brain. She told me that she was a witch. She went on to say both her mother and grandmother passed it down to her, and she felt connected to me. Because I'm polite and a little too nice sometimes, I didn't challenge her. I'm sure I seemed interested, like, oh, really? And I can't you just hear Patty? Like, oh, really? I feel like I've told stories that Patty probably couldn't care about. You know, it's just like, oh, really? She's just so sweet and polite. She went on to say she had a dream last night about wolves and knew that I did too. She said that I was connected to them, and that's why one came to me and didn't hurt me. I explained that it was just a friend having a nightmare, and she corrected me and told me that I had made it happen. Right?
Oh, so Patty's the one we can't invite over.
I know.
Sorry, Patty.
She's going to bring werewolves. She's going to, like, make the people in the house turn into wolves.
Oh, my gosh. My kids are wild enough.
Yeah. Well, nobody got time for that, Patty. Remember that I was 11 years old at the time. How does an adolescent come up with this crap? And why would a young girl say such crazy things? Just a side note, I had been attacked by a dog 2 different times, the same dog. So at this point, I had a healthy fear of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I bet. So that's so terrifying. You're already scared of this type of animal.
But I wonder if that's what built the connection.
Yeah, the fear of that. Yeah.
And this girl was in a different cabin than her. So
right.
It's not
She
like
never knew her. She didn't know her, right? Anyway, I told her that I had to find a friend. Like, she's like, I'm just making an excuse to get away from this girl. But really, I just wanted to tell someone about this weirdness. This little witch, this little witch stopped me and informed me that she needed to tell me a secret. Right? No.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Don't.
No,
you
thank
don't
you.
need to tell me anything.
I'm fully aware that, like, I just don't know enough about Wiccan or witch or anything like that. I know there are a lot of good people who are like, oh, whatever.
I think it's more like when it's for good, it's like more about nature and spirit and
right. But it's
your spirituality.
I don't know enough about it that it wouldn't freak me out hardcore.
If somebody who just told me they were a witch said they wanted to tell me a secret, I'd be like, I'm good. Yeah, I could live the rest of my life without knowing your secret, witch. I'm done. I feel
like we're just turning people away. Like, we're in a niche where, like, witches are going to want to listen to us because we talk about
ghosts. If you are a witch, write us in. I would love to know more. I mean, I'm open to learning about anything.
Same.
Yeah, and I'm open to learning about anything. But if you
But don't tell us your secrets. I'm not open to your secrets.
Just don't whisper them in my ear. If you want to sit and have a drink across from me and tell me your secret out loud, okay.
Wait, with stipulation, it can no longer be a secret. Like, I don't want to keep your secret.
True, that's true. Okay.
I don't want. If you want to tell me anything, tell me. Yeah. But I'm not becoming a keeper of your witch's secrets.
Well, that shouldn't just be for witches. We're not. Neither one of us very good.
Oh, I am really good at holding it.
Well, okay.
I am really good.
Yes, you are. Oh, listen, if you tell me not to ever tell anybody,
yes, you have to specify.
But if you're just telling me some good goss, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna go tell my sister that.
Oh yeah, right. And we have one friend. Well, they're getting married.
Yeah,
but they will constantly. You're better friends with one. I'm better friends with the other. But the one that is my best friend will always be like, okay, I've got a secret. You cannot even tell Megan. She has to specify that.
Yeah, you have to specify that.
And if she does, I won't tell you.
It's just you can't even tell Kevin or you can't even tell Jim. No, you cannot even tell Aaron. That's right. It is true. It's true. Okay. So let's reread that little line.
Go back.
Because that is a good line. This little witch stopped me and informed me that she needed to tell me a secret. She whispered in my ear. Ugh. I mean, that just that raises the hair on the She just told you you're a witch. She's whispering in your ear. She whispered in my ear that I was going to get attacked by a wolf and die.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we talk about creepy kids all the time.
Yeah.
This is an 11-year-old little girl that she's never met.
Right.
That she just sits down next to her.
Who knew about her dream.
Yes.
That's what's freaky. Because, kids say weird things all the time. Like, I'm a witch right now. It's like, okay, cool. But she knew about that dream.
And it was passed down from my mother, my grandmother.
Yeah, I think she's a real witch.
Here's what the visual I'm imagining. I don't know if anybody else is with me, but I'm picturing cute little Patty sitting on the side of the pool, just swinging her legs, and the little girl sitting down, syncing up, like with her, swinging her legs. Just like casual and sweet kind of at first. And now she's like, I've got a secret to tell you.
You're gonna die.
You're gonna die.
You're gonna die.
You're gonna die by a wolf. Woof. Okay. I pulled away and told her she was crazy. Good for you, Patty. You should, like, maybe kick her, too, or something. I don't know. Just get away from me, you witch. Okay. Then that was your brother. She was probably laughing because that sounded just like something Jack would say. She said her powers were strong and never wrong. Cocky little witch is what she was. By this time, a few friends saw me and approached. This girl power. This is why you get good friends. This is why right here. Even at age 11, you look
Especially
out for your friends. Yes,
11.
Sophie, if you're still listening, I think she kind of gave up.
I think
on
she
us.
quit. We're not cool enough for my kid.
But if she ever comes back to this, listen, or that 8-year-old that apparently listens to us, stop, because we cuss a lot. No, I'm kidding. Come on in, but we're not going to hold back. But no, anyway, I'm just saying, you look out for your friends. Always be on the watch, and if they look like they're in distress, go help them.
Yes.
And she has great ones here. She said her powers were strong and never wrong. By this time, a few friends saw me and approached, but I didn't say anything to them yet. I told them I had to go back to the cabin. This is the point, but her friends are already on alert. They'll come back in a minute.
Okay.
This is the point where I question my memory. I don't question anything else, but I still wonder if I was panicking or if I really saw what my brain remembers next. Everything in me says that I saw it, but reason takes hold and I question my eyes. As I walked back to the cabin by myself.
Oh.
Why? Where'd those friends go? Anyway.
I guess it's daylight. You feel, oh no, is there going to be a wolf? Okay, sorry, keep going.
I was startled by movement to my right.
Oh, no.
I was walking through a clearing with woods and tall grass behind the cabins. A very large grayish dog pokes through the darkened tall grass. I know I paused for just a moment and looked directly at it. It never exposed more than 3/4 of its body. I tried to look at it without turning my head or alerting it. I always tried to appear like I never actually stopped walking. However, I was so scared that I was about to feel teeth sinking into my leg or back.
Oh, poor Patty.
I know, isn't that terrifying? When I think back, the dog was not vicious looking. Like, so in that moment, she's thinking this is a vicious dog. Well, of course, you just got told you're going to be killed by a werewolf.
A wolf.
Okay, a wolf. In my mind, a werewolf. When I think back, the dog was not vicious looking. Hair was standing on end, but its stance and posture was alert, but not in attack mode. Okay. So she's like, it just noticed me.
Well, yeah, they got a connection.
It never growled and kept its teeth hidden. As I stated above, by this point I had been attacked by the same dog on 2 different occasions. Once on the hand, and as I tried to run from it, it clamped down on my elbow and locked its jaw.
Oh.
The ridiculous part of that is it was a Cocker Spaniel.
Oh.
Insert eye roll.
Hey, we had Cocker Spaniels.
Those are mean dogs.
They're mean.
They are vicious, mean dogs. Yeah,
they can be. Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
Sandy was never.
I don't want to generalize. She was mean towards strangers. If she
Yeah.
didn't know you, she could be really like I remember having to like hide her away if we had friends over because they are very protective over their owners.
Yeah.
So this large grayish dog wolf was there looking at me. Up to this moment, I was continuously turning back to make sure that the witch girl was not still following me to my cabin. So she had started following her at some point. But seeing this animal took my focus away from her. I went back and forth over the years. Was it a guardian or a soul taker? I'm pretty sure that if the girl was following me, she stopped when she saw the dog. So I'm going to say a guardian.
Aww.
This event ended with me having my only true panic attack in the cabin that night. The witch girl came to tell me more about my death.
What is this camp where they're just willy-nilly walking around?
Right. Letting witches just roam free.
We grew up as camp kids. You could not just walk from cabin to cabin.
Right? You had to stick with your cabin. I mean, I don't know. Seems like a smaller camp, but whatever.
Huh. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm glad our camp had rules about witches. I'm kidding. Again, we love witches. We love witches. Okay. The witch girl came to tell me more about my death, and my friends wouldn't let her in. Mm-hmm. There they are. That's right. They band together. Mm-hmm. I was always happy and silly, so when they saw me hyperventilating, they jumped into action.
Oh, good.
No, good guys. Girls. I love it. Okay. I don't recall any conversation with my parents about this. this is where, so Patty's teaching me a lesson in this. I don't recall any conversation with my parents about this. They are realists, and this does not sound real at all. It would have been poo-pooed right away and labeled a dream, which is what a parent is expected to do. However, I wish I would have told them about the witch girl.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, all these years later, she's like, I wish I could have gone to them and told them about that. So I'm like, okay, maybe you don't just jump to...
It can't be real.
It can't be real because, maybe just listen.
Right.
I still don't know if the wild beast was running in the cabin and breathing on me was a friend having a dog dream or not, but it seems very likely. I must, however, note. Okay, and now she's going to go ahead and debunk this whole thing for me.
Oh, that's easy night for you.
Thank you, Patty. Yeah, I just can sip my wine and not too much, but I will sip a little bit more of it and just take it easy tonight. I must, however, note that it singled me out. Went on for a long period of time, sounded like it was running on all fours, and the growls and breathing did not sound human. The girl that had the dream was a friend that I had known for 4 to 5 years.
Who was probably also 11, not like a... Like if I needed to make a deep growl...
Listen, this is exactly what she says. Now, make a growl sound. You just did. That was weird. Make a growl noise and see if it sounds inhuman or still has the remnants of a human tone. It sounds like you making a growl noise. Yes, I realize I was scared, but still.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where she helped me out. The witch girl knew I had a nightmare about a wolf and about feeling one in the cabin. Oh. I hadn't told her, and it wasn't like we were all going around talking about it. So at first, I was confused how she knew, and initially I believed her about being a witch. Then I realized we were discussing it at breakfast, so she could have overheard her.
Okay.
Which I'm like, she's not a witch then. She's a little see you next Tuesday. If I had more wine in me, I would have just said it. I'm just saying. Oh my gosh.
I used to see, in a normal school year, I would always see my 5th graders on Tuesdays. And they would leave and go, see you next Tuesday.
No.
And I would sit there and think, I mean, we're pretty sheltered over at my school. I said it again. But I was like, now, did you mean see you next Tuesday?
Right. Or did you
mean, hey, I'll see you next week? And I'll never know. But every time I thought, okay, let's just say see you next week.
Right, or later. See you
later. I'll see you tomorrow in the hallway is good enough too.
Right. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm a believer that almost everything is possible. However, paranormal waters have been muddied with the untrue and greedy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, isn't that a good line?
And so true.
And true. I mean, that's why I think a lot of times I am a skeptic, because there are so many fakes out there. I'm like,
right.
It's either true or it's not. You don't try to make something out of nothing. And I'm not saying any of our past stories by any means. I'm just saying, if you really believe it, great.
Right.
But if you know it didn't happen and you're tampering with the truth, that is greedy. And I love that word greedy, because I don't think I would have thought to use that adjective, but it is. It's like seeking something out, like fame or notoriety or something. Yeah. Yeah,
but also when you go to that extreme of people who have made their livelihood out of filming this, well, of course you have to have something happen.
Right. So
what if they go somewhere and nothing happens?
Yeah. Yeah. I love that line.
Yeah, that's good.
And that is a lot of why I'm a skeptic. But I love that what I love about this is that she is a true believer and is still very much aware of that. Like that is, to me, that's really, and I think most of our fans that are believers fall in that category.
Right, I do too.
Doesn't mean you're gullible to be a believer. Just be aware. Be aware that these things do happen and people will scam you. For the future, take a look into hauntings in Camp Taylor. That's where our mom and dad were raised. I was baptized and married at Holy Family, then lived there a few years. I forget if Jack was baptized there. And then she just ends. That's it.
Oh, and then bye, Patty.
Bye, Patty. Actually, she rewrites it again. So I don't know. I would really laugh if she hand wrote it out again. She's like, we are going to get this email. But wasn't that good?
That was amazing.
Right?
That is so... I think
there was so much to it.
I think that might be our scariest story.
Yes, that the breathing and the running up and down the aisle. I mean, I can picture that. Like, to me, that was like straight out of a horror movie. Like, and then her just like laying there, and then the one slight little move of I'm just going to cover my head, and it's right back there.
Yeah.
Whew. I mean, that was that girl sleepwalking, which that's my only debunk. It had to have been. I'm like, that girl's crazy.
Right.
Whew.
Yeah, I could truly see a movie starting there and going on the whole summer of camp. That whole little witchy girl, is she really a witch? Is she really just a mean girl? What is she doing?
Yeah.
It sounds like a great psychological... Ooh, let's make it. TM. Don't take it.
Okay, Patty, we'll call you in for writing.
Yeah, Patty, you're in it too.
But if her daughter could star in it. Her daughter is beautiful.
Oh, she's beautiful. She's a little too old.
I know in my mind she's still 11, but she's like, she's in college.
That's I definitely went to a drag show with her before COVID started.
That's hilarious. Oh,
you were too. Gosh. You were there too.
Did I go? I don't even remember. Oh, I don't think I was with Elizabeth. Was I there?
Yes, you were there. I've got a picture of us that night.
I bet I blocked it out because I'm like, she is too...
That's where she wanted to go for her 18th birthday.
Oh, that's right. It was for her 18th birthday. I did totally block it out because to me, she is too young to be in that setting. Not that setting because it's a drag show. Because she's too young to be at a bar.
Yeah. Okay. It was like, that's a weird...
Sorry. I'll clear that up.
Conservative stance.
Anybody can go to a drag show. I could care less. Listen, for my child's 5th birthday, I'll have a drag queen. I could care less about that.
So fun.
Oh, he would love it. But
at a bar. Yes.
But at a bar.
It's weird.
I thought you were like, yes, have it at a bar. I'm like, no. I'm drawing the line at a bar. That's funny.
I know what you mean. That's really funny.
So great story, Patty. I'm so glad you got your shit together, girl, and got it to us because that was good.
Yes, that was awesome. And our second camp story in a row.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. And we know that wasn't coincidence because she sent us the original.
That's right.
Like weeks and weeks ago. So
yeah, that's really cool. I love it. Well, thanks, Patty. Okay, I'm gonna get my.
You get set up.
I gotta get set up.
I'm excited about this one because. Can I say a little bit about the wine we're drinking and where it came from?
Yes, please do.
So, the story that we have tonight was the author bought us this bottle of wine. Not because she was bribing us to tell her story. That'd be really funny. I wish we were that, like, read my story, here's about... But no, she is one of our sponsors.
That's right.
As in, our only sponsor. Besides Anchor. From Hunt Memorial Glass. Yes. And you've heard the commercials several times. We love them. And that she's paying us in wine, which...
the way to our hearts.
For real. If you want to be sponsored. Almost too much, though. We're finally like, okay, you got it. She was bringing us multiple bottles of wine. I'm like, that's so nice. But
she brought her and her brother, actually.
Yes, right? Yes, and Maya.
Yeah, so Maya brought us 2 bottles of wine in a row. Anchor, it's taken us... Not that we're complaining, Anchor... Calm down.
Simmer down, Anchor.
But, it's taken us, I don't know,
since November.
43,000 listens to get $40, and she sent us...
Yeah, these 2 bottles are what? They're nice bottles, too.
I know.
Clearly already $40. I'm like, okay, listen.
I know.
We feel guilty.
She sent me a message yesterday that was like, hey, I think we owe you another bottle of wine. I told Maya to drop by. I was like, please don't. Like, we'll still do your ads, but like... Yeah. You have paid for your ads for a little while,
yes,
I promise.
Yes, we'll let you know when we get real thirsty, but because that would just be unethical because the wine is clearly really good wine, but because I've only had 2 glasses and I'm already feeling a little buzzed, but I don't have to read anymore, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, you can sit back.
I can sit back and relax and chug this wine if I want to, but I won't because I'm taking it easy tonight.
So this story takes place at the Palace, which we'll get into it. She does a great job at describing the Palace, like what it looks like. But for those of you who are not from Louisville and are just listening... You have to put it on your list of things to do if you come to Louisville. Yeah, if you come to Louisville, you got to go to the Palace. It is my favorite venue for any kind of concert. I mean, it's big and it's grand, but it doesn't ever feel like you're in a big... Yeah, I've sat in the very back row, and you still feel like you're right there. Right. In the balcony. Yeah. You still feel like you can see them really well, and it's just gorgeous. It's beautiful. Gorgeous. It is the most beautiful venue I've ever been in. Definitely. I saw Teresa Caputo there. I saw Sarah McLachlan there. Ooh, that'd be fun. Look, I don't even know. Teresa, I just skipped right over that because I had no idea who it was. I was like, clearly I'm older than you. I have no idea who that singer is. No. And then your little giggle was like,
I bet she's a medium.
She is. She's the Long Island medium.
Oh, of course she is.
Teresa and Christine got me tickets for one of my birthdays.
Oh, that's
and we
so
all went.
fun.
It was really fun. I came home from work and Kevin said, "You need to get ready to go."
Oh, how cute
and I
is
said,
that?
"For what?" And he was like, "Your friends are coming to pick you up, take you to dinner, and go to see Teresa Caputo."
Listen to that, people. That's how you treat a friend right there.
I know.
You stick up for them when a little witch is coming.
That's right.
And then you surprise them. We got the best friends ever.
We do. We're very lucky. Okay, so here we go. So, this is Jennifer's story. My name is Jennifer, and I have worked at the historic Louisville Palace for over 20 years. During that time, I have had the opportunity to hear many of the ghost stories associated with the historic building. I have also been there to witness firsthand the truly pale complexion of a stagehand, custodian, or production assistant standing as if numb to us, wide-eyed and stammering about having just experienced something unexplainable.
Oh, I just thought she meant they were pale. They were all really
Right.
pale.
I know, but what's interesting is that after I read this and thought, ooh, a good story, I don't think any of this has happened directly to her.
Oh, interesting.
I know, and she's worked there for 20 years.
Yeah, there it goes. There. Thank you for the
No,
debunking. Okay.
not a debunk. In fact, I almost feel like it's more proof. Maybe some people are so shut off to it.
Okay.
Although she doesn't sound like she wants to be shut off to it, so maybe I'm debunking myself. But maybe you're so shut down to it.
It wouldn't happen to me, but go ahead.
Okay. I am, myself, a person who is fascinated by the unexplained, the paranormal, and the mystical, magical energies of our world. I think I may be somewhere between you two sisters, in that I believe anything is possible, but I also want personal experience so that I can more than believe, so that I can know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I was like, well, Megan could have written that.
Yeah.
Since childhood, I have sought out and experienced many of my own encounters with the unexplained. So maybe everything I said earlier was a lie and I've had too much wine. When I was a preteen, I think I was initially inspired to prove that fairies really do exist. Or that I could use the power of my mind to levitate. Then, as ghost hunting became even more popular, so did my fascination with spirits and hauntings. I wouldn't call myself an expert, rather more of a well-informed and enthusiastic explorer.
Nice. I love that.
I know, yeah. So finding myself in possession of the keys of a haunted 79-year-old theater, of course, I let myself in at midnight on a full moon.
Oh, girl. She's like a kid in a playground, or like a kid in a candy shop. She's like, let me in.
Right. With cameras and audio recorders to have my own goosebumpy experiences.
What? That's awesome.
I know. It sounds amazing. Take us with you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm scared. I'd be so scared if I was there.
At the palace at night.
Oh my gosh.
First of all, I would feel like I was breaking a million laws.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'd be like, we are going to get busted and in jail. I mean, I'd still do it, though, Jen.
Yeah.
Like, in a heartbeat, Jen. If you hit me up, girl, I would still do it. But I would be like, oh, like, your adrenaline's pumping.
Right.
Like, this is crazy. Oh, I would go everywhere in that building.
Oh, you're like, I see wheels turning. But
Yes.
you're like, please invite us.
I'm thinking of places that I would go. Mainly first the bar, but then everywhere else would be amazing. Okay.
I know. I talk a big game where I'm like, yes, I want to go to all these places. And you have an idea because you know me.
Yeah.
But I am the biggest wimp when I actually get in scary situations.
Sometime when we don't have such long stories, I'll tell you all about her at a haunted house.
Oh
that
my
shit's
gosh.
funny.
Well, your story is funnier of the two of us.
Yeah, we'll have to touch on that sometime.
First, a little tour of the Palace Theater and its architecture. The building has a Spanish Rococo, and yes, I did double check to make sure I said that right.
Yeah, I love that word.
Yeah, a Spanish Rococo theme, so everywhere you look are statues and relief carvings of the plaster depicting creatures and swords and shields with family crests painted upon them. If you were to enjoy a show at the Palace, you would walk out to the auditorium and step into a lobby that has the most amazing decorated 2-story vaulted ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Oh, I miss it.
Beautiful.
Walk across the lobby and you step through the archway where once stood a wall dividing the two buildings and into the first floor of the bar area. It has a lovely drink, everybody.
Yes, lovely. Thank you, Jen.
It has a lovely stone floor and stucco walls reminiscent of a castle courtyard. Paintings of vineyards on the wall, a stone fireplace, and wrought iron gates added to the ambiance of an ancient castle. During a show, upward of 300 people would be mingling in this room, waiting for a beverage from one of the 6 bartenders behind the ornate 40-foot wooden bar.
Damn, she is a writer.
Take me back to a normal world and let me go to the palace.
And then, Jen, branch out and start writing brochures for all these places.
So descriptive. It's
wow.
Wonderful. Our one listener in Qatar is like, I can't wait to go there.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's great.
Above this room is the 2nd floor bar area. This room is equally as beautiful. The floors are the original hardwood and the walls are an artistic industrial plaster mix. There are 3 open balcony windows that curve out from the wall and overlook the lobby below. All in all, a beautiful space that is alive with merriment during a show. Mm-hmm. But on a late evening when no one else is around, your footsteps echo across the room as the old wood groans beneath your feet. Seriously, write a book.
Right.
It's so good.
Jen. I mean, I knew she was creative. Like, she's just a creative person. You could tell the minute you meet her, but golly, girl.
I know. I'm so proud of all of our listeners.
See, you're having a mom moment where you're proud of them. I get that way too. I'm like, listen to our listeners.
That's right. We got the best.
We do.
It has been times like this that I have been inspired to stand silent for just a moment, as if I was giving the building a chance to say hello. It is here on the 2nd floor of the bar area that several people have experienced strange occurrences. Years ago, my brother was engaged to be married and had scheduled the ceremony to be held at the Palace Theater, which sounds incredible, right? I'm real jealous. That sounds awesome. I had been married there myself, so this was a meaningful location to our family. A few days before the wedding, my brother was doing a walkthrough of the building. He was with the wedding planner, and as it was Monday, the building was closed to the public, and no other employees were working that day. The wedding planner excused herself for a moment and left my brother standing alone at the base of the spiral staircase on the 1st floor of the bar area. His attention was immediately pulled up the staircase to the 2nd floor when he heard the laughter of what could only be described as that of a young girl. I know. No, thank you. He told me later, saying that at first his brain was like, why are my mom and my sister upstairs laughing? But then he realized that explanation didn't pan out as we were nowhere near the building that day. The fact that he was alone settled in on him. He began understanding that he was experiencing something that he didn't believe in, so he decided to leave the building quickly.
That's what you do, Maya. That's what we do.
And that's how you never get proof and make yourself a believer.
That's true. And then we beg for it later on. But in the moment, you're like, oh, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Another time, the concession manager was working on the 1st floor by the bar. He was using a power tool to cut a piece of wood when he heard laughter coming from the 2nd floor directly above him. Confused as to how he could even hear anything above the sound of the saw, he stopped working and called out, "Is anybody there?" He received no answer. I had the privilege of seeing him moments after this happened. Flustered, he put his saw down and made straight for the office where several of us were working. Seeing his face, we knew something was wrong. He told us his story, then sat there pale and dazed, asking himself how he had been able to even hear laughter over the sound of the power tool. Which I have a podcast, like I have something in my ear almost all the time.
Right.
It's so weird when you can hear something.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, did I hear that?
Was that Miles? Was that Megan's child screaming something?
No, but like that feeling of like, was that something, was that maybe just the saw that was making that noise and sounded weird?
Right.
And you get that spooky feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Curious about the reoccurring children's laughter on the 2nd floor, my coworkers and I did a little research. We discovered that a children's hospital had once stood on the same spot that the concession building was now standing. Huh. The hospital had been torn down years ago, but the foundation was reused to build the existing building.
Wow.
Is the laughter coming from the spirits of the children that continue to play as they wait to go home?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that took a dark
I know, that's so sad. Or is it something we have yet to even begin to understand? Since those occurrences, there have been many other childlike pranks that have been reported throughout the building. The next time you are there, be sure to stop for a moment on the 2nd floor of the bar and say...
I always do at the bar. But I'll get my drink and then I'll stop for a little bit longer.
Right. I'm just going to sip my drink right here and say hello to the children.
Right.
So she ended that. Thank you for your opportunity to share my stories at the Palace Theater. I love your show. I will continue to write these stories down and send them to you. Sincerely, Jennifer Hunt.
Oh, Jennifer, we love your writing. I'm like,
I know.
That whole time, like, she needs to write a book.
I know.
I mean, whether it be about the palace or whatever. I mean, her writing is beautiful. And yeah, okay, I'll say this. I've gone to the palace several times. Like, now it's like flashing through my mind all of the concerts that I've been there. And you do get this even in a crowded setting, you get the sense of like mystery and wonderment, and that's kind of the allure of it all. It's like this place is just magic. You can just feel.
It does feel magical.
It's very magical.
It's very old.
And you keep thinking like the bathrooms. Oh my gosh, are gorgeous. You're like, I just want to go pee so I can go sit in this bathroom. It's beautiful. But the palace in itself is it's a landmark in Louisville. Yeah. So to hear its history, that's fascinating. There used to be a child's hospital there. I never would have thought
what I like about that is they were hearing. I could understand if someone told me, guess what? Mm-hmm. There used to be a children's hospital on the same location. And then I go in, and then I'm like,
hear it. So
do I hear children's laughter?
Thing, but they heard it, then they went and researched it.
Right.
But I'm still with Jen.
So proof.
Proof that they say that it happened. Because I'm like Jen. I'm exactly like her. I'm so glad she said that. I want it to personally happen so that I know that it happened. And it has not personally happened. So to me, I'm like, you heard a sound that traveled. That lady, the wedding planner, she went somewhere. She could have been on the phone talking to somebody, laughed. The echoing, because that place, when there's nobody in there, has to echo. I mean, it is like...
Well, let's find out for sure. Jen, please invite us at midnight.
At midnight, by ourselves. You can stay.
Yeah.
Maya can be there. Whoever, Maya's lovely wife. Drink. So lovely again. But yeah, no, we definitely should go there at midnight. But also, I'm just saying that, it does... He thought he was alone, but he doesn't know that for sure. I mean, an employee could have forgotten something and came in real quick to get it. They were on the phone, they laughed, whatever. Doesn't matter. It still made him super, like, okay, I'm getting out of here.
Right.
So I love the story, and you're in that room, you're just anytime, even with a whole bunch of people, you're in there and you still feel like, this is amazing, this place is. So
yeah.
Wow, what great stories tonight.
I know, we had such good ones. When do we don't? We always have good stories.
I know, I really am. I'm in love with our listeners and the way that they write, and please keep sending them. We have gotten a few more.
We have enough for next week.
We do, but that's it after that, I think.
That seems to be how we roll.
Yeah, and then they just start popping in. We're like, yay.
I know, yeah.
And that's kind of how I did high school, too. It was like, wait till the very last minute before I read a book, and then I would just skim through it. But this is like, I can do that. We're banking on other people, so
yeah, we have gotten really lucky that even though we're like, oh, I guess we're reading this one, they're all amazing.
I know. Yeah, I have not there's not been one that we've read that we're like, I don't know. We read them, and they're amazing. They're all great. I love them. So if we run out of them, then y'all just have to listen to our haunted houses stories, which they are funny.
They're funny. They're not that scary, but they're
not
funny.
Scary at all. They'll make you laugh, and eventually, hopefully, we'll work those in somewhere. But yeah, we've had a great time tonight and a great time with all of our listeners, and hopefully they'll just keep on sending stuff in.
Yes. Do we have a fan favorite? Hunt Memorial Glass creates custom glass artwork using the cremation ashes of your loved one. They offer affordable, custom-designed glass jewelry, personalized glass sculptures, and beautiful glass marbles that you and your family will cherish. Please visit Hunt Memorial Glass on Facebook or email them at huntmemorialglass@gmail.com.
Okay, so first of all, you read that beautifully.
Thank you so much.
Yes, so professionally. But I'm very excited to promote this business. They do beautiful work. So, whether you're a believer or a skeptic of ghosts, everybody wants to memorialize their loved one. And then even pets, like they had a sun catcher with a little paw print that has the dog's ashes. I was like, if I had thought of that with Corley, So anyway, my whole point is that this is just beautiful artwork, first of all. Beautiful artwork, and then to have that sentimental part attached to it. I really believe in this product. Just a wonderful way to honor your loved ones if they pass on.
It's gorgeous. I think you should all check out that Facebook page. I definitely followed it as soon as I saw it. It's incredible. What a cool way to remember your loved ones.
Yes, I definitely have one, and I've had my eye on her for a while. And I will have to apologize to her because totally my fault. I've been meaning to reach out to her all week long and have not. So I was like, oh crap, I never did that. So I just now sent her a message. I peed. I got more wine. She did not respond yet, probably because she's a responsible adult and is in bed at this time, as all responsible adults should be, except for we just break the rules sometimes.
That's right.
Okay, so I don't know what to plug for her yet, but that doesn't mean there's not something. So if she has something that she would like for us to plug, then you can find that on Facebook, possibly Instagram.
And the description.
And the description, yeah, we'll add it in there. But, and I think, I was going to ask her as well, I think it's Raquel or Rochelle. You'll know who you are, girl. You spell your name Raichelle.
So we ended up hearing from Rochelle, not Raquel, Rochelle, after we were done recording, and she does have something really cool to promote. So Rochelle makes these really cool tumblers that are like sparkly and cool. Some are just really pretty with your name on it, and then some are like creepy, like the clown It. It's awesome. But she also makes custom t-shirts. So if you are interested in any of those things, you should definitely go check out her page at facebook.com/mermaidbyray. And the way you spell that is a little different than you might think. So it's facebook.com/MERMADEBYRAI, like Mermaid by Ray. All right, so now we're going to listen to why she's so awesome and why she is our fan pick.
But I chose her because I've just noticed her presence. You just kind of, I feel like anytime we post something, she loves it. She comments on it. She just seems very present, and you can tell she's a listener. She'll say, "Oh, like in the last episode." So, I always love that because we're kind of flying blind here. We don't know. We've got a lot of fans on Facebook, but clearly they're not all listening. Not to call y'all out. Well, they won't know.
They'll never know.
They'll never know if they don't listen. But we've got a lot of fans. Partly because a lot of them are our Facebook friends that we just invited, that we hope they'll just get the message and come on over and listen. But so the true listeners, the ones that are here for it,
right? And neither of us know her personally.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know her. I just know that she does listen because of what she writes in and what she posts on Facebook. I can tell she's a true listener.
As soon as you said her name, I was like, "Oh yeah, she's the one who's always liking us."
Yeah. So again, this is not just about promoting us. This is just about supporting us and being here and being with us. And we love that. We love that you are a true listener. You're not just one of those fake ones out there to be our fan. Unless they become someday. Fine, I'll listen to that damn podcast they keep putting stuff on. Then welcome. We're so glad you're here. Someday you could be a fan favorite. But until then, it's Rochelle. It's her turn.
Yes, so thank you so much.
Yes, Rochelle, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for listening in. And we will, I promise, we will promote whatever it is you have to. If you don't have anything, that's fine too. You can just promote yourself. You're awesome. We love you, and thanks for being with us every week.
Thank you so much, and thank you guys for listening tonight. Again, it was a fun night, and man, some really good, spooky, chill-worthy stories.
Oof, good stories.
Yeah, I loved it. So, if you want these to continue, please send us your listener stories to our email at myskepticalsister@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. You can follow
That's okay. Leave that in there. You can follow us on bloop, 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 bloop. We don't know what that is, but I'm sure we're out there too.
You can follow us on all of those. And we just love to hear from you. We love to see, your responses. It's so much fun interacting.
Yeah. You could be the next fan favorite.
That's right. Rate and review and subscribe if you're on Apple. And if you're not on Apple, then get an Apple phone. What's going on?
What's going on? Get something where you can rate us and review us and subscribe. We need you. No, I'm kidding. My husband will never go to Apple. That's why he'll never be a fan favorite. It's fine. Whatever. No, I get it. But just, join us. That's all we ask for, really. Listen to us. And
Tell your friends.
Laugh and get scared.
That's right. I know. We're funny because we check our numbers all the time. And we're so excited when it jumps. But really, truly, we have so many great people who listen.
Yeah. We don't really need any more.
If it stays the same number it is right now, I will be thrilled.
Content and happy. Yes, even with less numbers. But we don't want to go down.
Yeah. Let's not throw that out there.
Really, I'm like, if it could just be you and I. We could be pretending this whole time and I'd still be content. It's just
just you and I talking into the void.
We're having a podcast. Really, we're just drinking in the back. We're like, no, remember that podcast we started, honey?
That'd be so lame for me. My husband's not even here.
Right. But your kids are.
Yeah, but they're asleep. It's not like...
I know,
if we were not doing this right now, I'd just be watching crap TV.
Right. So we need a reason, we need an excuse to do something more fun other than stupid TV.
Yeah, because we do a lot of that right now. Ooh,
that's a good
so ringy. It was so loud. Sorry, guys. Okay, well, thank you all for everything, and we will talk to you all next week.
Have a good night.
La 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 la.
First, a little tour of the Palace Theater and its architecture. Did I say that weird?
You did.
Architecture.
Architecture. Try again.
First, a little tour of the Palace Theater and the architecture. Do I say that word weird?
No, the second time you said it right. Architecture. Well, now you're making me think I say it wrong. Architecture. Why does it sound so weird?
Oh my gosh.
Architecture. We're going to have the little guy say it. Architecture.
Architecture.
Yes.
Okay.
Architecture. Now I'm like throwing an N in there. Why?
I really put an X in there the first time and it threw me off.
It sounds so weird. Architecture.
Put the wrong emphasis and the wrong syllable. First, a little tour of the Palace Theater and its architecture. You bitch.
Sorry. I'm just so proud of you for nailing.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Try again, and I won't
snap.
I won't audibly celebrate your pronunciation.